Yes, sir.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Wakasayim, Mabarakim. Peace, mercy, and blessings be unto all the Akim out there that are teaching this truth. All right, wherever they be scattered. Today is June 12th, 2020, year of prophecy. You know, Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahushai.
For blessing us and allowing us to come out and do the work another day. You know, we're going to continue prophesying the downfall of this place because we are in the last seconds of the last days. Got the
Hebrews 1 and where?
One and what?
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 1. God, who at sundry times,
Right, and the real name for God is Yahweh, which means He is. That's the real name in the Lashawan Kodash, the Holy Tongue, the ancient Hebrew. It's not Jehovah, it's not Yehoshua. See, God is just a title, all right? But the real name is Yahweh. You must know that name. That's very important.
Right.
Yahweh, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Right, so the Lord always spoke to our ancestors by the mouth of the prophets. So the Lord, He's not going to come down here and talk to you face to face. He's going to send His servants to come talk to you, man. But what did our people do? They were killing the prophets. They were putting them to death. They were persecuting them. They put Jeremiah in the pit. All right. So now we're in 2020, and the things that we have been prophesying, they're coming to pass, man. You know, and the Lord still has prophets on the scene today because there's still prophecies that need to take place. One of the major prophecies is the Mark of the Beast, the RFID chip. You know, you hear talks about the HR 666 bill. How Bill Gates wants to vaccinate everybody. All right. World War III. Behold, the third war coming quickly. So there's still major prophecies that have to come to pass yet. So there's still prophets.
Verse 2, having these last days spoken unto us by His Son, whom He has appointed heir of all things.
Right, and that's Yahushai. Yahushai is heir of all things, man. All right, tells you in the book of Daniel, all right, that Yahushai He's going to have an everlasting kingdom. All right, because we're in the feet of the statue from Daniel's vision. When Yahushai comes as that great millstone and smite the statue, He's going to suffer an everlasting kingdom, you know, a place where we have eternal rest.
Having these last days spoken unto us by His Son, whom He have appointed heir of all things.
Right, and the Son's name is Yahushai, which means He's the deliverer. All right, so when you pray to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, you pray to Him in the name of Yahushai. So it'll be Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai.
That's right.
By whom also He made the world.
Right, and when you look up the word worlds in that scripture, the word there is aeon, which means a period of time. So the Lord gave the Babylonians a period of time to rule. He gave the Medo-Persians a period of time to rule. The Greeks, the Romans. Now we're in the second leg of the Roman Empire, and their period of time of ruling, they're at the end of their rulership. All right?
Who being the brightness of His glory and the express image of His person.
Right, when you go to that word express image, the Greek word there is character, meaning the exact replica. All right, and the precept of that is in John, where He says, if you have seen me, then you have seen the Father.
Right.
See, the Heavenly Father and the Son, you know, like father, like son. You have a dad, you look just like your dad. You know?
Hey, in Colossians, the first chapter, 15th verse, it says that He is the exact image of the Heavenly Father.
This is verse 3 in book of Hebrews. Who being the brightness of His glory and the express image of His person, and upholding all things by the word of His power, when He had by Himself purged our sins and sat down on the right hand of the Majesty on high.
Right, see, Yahushua was sent down here to do a mission, all right, to save His people from their sins. So His people are the Israelites, which they consist of 12 tribes, which today by faith we believe those to be the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, all right, Haitians, Jamaicans, so forth and so on.
Right.
All right, these people are the Lord's chosen people. He came down and he died on the cross for the sins of his people.
Right.
Starting with the elect, because all Israel is going to be saved, but it starts with the first fruits.
Even going off who we believe through faith are the Israelites, well, what other, if you will, denomination of people are having enough faith to break down the 12 tribes and then to say who they are and then seeing them through faith by works doing what the Israelites prophets would do?
Hey, Second Ezra, the 3rd chapter, at the end it say, Second Ezra 3 and 34, where it say,
Yeah.
I can't,
I know where you're going.
Yeah,
You say
yeah.
what people, but
Yeah.
not people Israel.
yeah.
That makes sense because if the FJs, we're gonna leave like the
Yeah.
FJs. If they were the people, then where are the camps at?
Or any of the heathens.
Right. Where's
you can have, I think, 34.
Okay. I got 30. I'll say 31.
Oh, yeah.
This is 2nd Ezra 3 and 31. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are there then of Babylon better than they of Zion? Or is it there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? Or what generation has so believed thy covenants as Jacob? Like that's us. Like you got so-called Negroes, Latinos. Now through fear we putting down pork. We rehearsing what we call the Lashwan Quadash. We're gathering together for Passover. Through faith. Nobody else through faith is doing that. Even Christians aren't even coming out in the streets and preaching. A little more. It says, or what generation has so believed thy covenants as Jacob, and yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor has no fruit, for I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name has kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Yeah.
So that's how we know. And even the curses are upon us for a sign and a wonder. And us being out here is a sign too. We're standing together in unity. This is Esau's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
This is Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? That's straight and to the point, man. And right now we got the elect coming out. They've been coming out since 2007, all right, on the YouTube, man, beginning with our apostles, warning people of the things that we're seeing now.
Right, warning about the earthquakes, warning about the riots, the one people shall stand up to fight against another. And now there's talks of defunding the police, bringing in UN troops. There's all type of madness happening right now, and all of it is Bible prophecy. There's a blood moon coming up on 4th of July, which we just had a strawberry moon, pink moon, and a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Those are signs in the heavens before the great and notable day of the Lord.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake up out of sleep.
And that's the title of the camp today. That's the spirit, man. Right. Now is the time to wake out of sleep. Because really, man, how much longer do you think we got here?
Right, that's a great question.
The scriptures say, remember thy creator in the days of thy youth.
That's a great question because you see the economy collapsing. All of these businesses are closing down. There's nothing left here. You got China there, they're trying to sell out their American jets. So people are backing away from the dollar. So people don't want to deal with Babylon anymore. So they're at their end.
For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Right, they're in, but we're at our beginning. Our salvation is nearer than we think. We're not going to be here for much longer, Lord willing, man.
Well, you got all these people saying, I wanted to go back to normal. I wanted to go back to traffic jams and ladies' night.
Yeah,
tranny trains.
Like
and shit.
normal was working out for you. Like Normal wasn't working out for you.
Right.
Yeah, they want to
Right.
go back to working 2 jobs
Yep.
at the same damn
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
and barely being able to raise their children, and see their children.
But they want to go back to normal so they can have the luxury of going to their movie they want to see or going out to a bar they want. Just little selfish amenities. That's what they want, you know?
It's the same spirit from when we left out of Egypt.
Yeah.
It's that same spirit.
Wanted the garlic. They wanted the food, right? They want the buffets back, you know? They want to freely be able to buy cigarettes and drink booze, commit adultery. And they want normal because what their normal was, there was no fear. You know, they're afraid right now. They're afraid that they might get sick or they might die. So they want that normal, careless city coming back. But with all the uproars of the people, you're not going to get that. You know, Justice for Jake is out here. You can't even go on Netflix without seeing Black Lives Matter. You know?
Or video games.
Or
Call of Duty.
Yep.
And if you notice, man, this media is pushing their own agenda, because anybody who doesn't agree with the status quo on social media is getting downright crucified by the media right now, man.
Yeah. A perfect
You know,
example
people are
is,
losing their jobs.
a perfect example would be Drew
Brees, I was going to say that. Yeah. He had to recant 3 times. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I am sorry. You know, the NFL had to finally come out and make a statement on the racial issues. You know, so really when they say going back to normal, you want to go back to Jake being oppressed. When you say go back to normal, that's the same statement as make America great again.
And then you got all these corporations saying that they're for Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah.
Then you got the few that are saying, what is it, the All Lives Matter thing?
Yep.
And they're getting boycotted, man.
Yep. Yep. So people are turning against Esau's hatred.
There you go.
Well, what do they mean when they say all lives matter?
Right.
If not all lives are being taken by the police.
Right.
Okay, you know. So that's just like that's why Jake takes offense to it, like my thing.
Yep.
Like not everybody's being shot down by cops.
Right.
But it's really judgment from the Lord, because how does it say in Isaiah?
Yep. I get it.
Ashes master's crib.
Right, you don't
Israel
consider.
Not consider.
They don't consider that there's laws, statutes, and commandments. There's a certain way that you have to live on this planet. There's a higher power watching over you. You know, the curses, he says he's gonna watch over us for evil.
Yeah.
And one of them be thy life shall hang in doubt. You know?
Hey, Jake's killing each other more than the police are, man.
Verse 12, it says, the night is fire spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Right, the day of the Lord is at hand, man. So you should be seeking the Lord while you may be found. Because the Lord is slowly moving us from the highways, you know, out to discreet locations, secluded locations like we're at right now, man.
It reminds me, there's that meme where like Homer Simpson, where he leans in the bush and you can't see him. That's what the Lord is doing. He's pushing us to the uttermost of the borders, and then you ain't gonna see us no more. You know, because you can't have prophets out here once prophecy happens. Read Genesis 19. You know, the Lord specifically pulled Lot and his family out before the destruction came. You know, the Lord pulled us brothers in Rochester off East Main Street, and then that Saturday they were rioting, looting. They stormed the villa. Cars was being flipped, tear gas. That same street we used to preach on.
Well, hey, bro, you should have been like Sakari.
Right, right,
And just stood at the town square.
right,
With a microphone.
right.
It said, the night is fire spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Now, what's the works of darkness? Pretty much being occupied in the pleasures of this life. Well, now the Lord is taking that away, because the mirth of the land is gone. And they give you a hope, like we're going to reopen phase 2, things are going to go back to normal. But hey, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction is going to happen. Right. So let's say they do reopen, things are only going to get worse, man. Because what job are you going to go back to?
Right.
Your unemployment is going to run out. You're going to get evicted, man. You know?
They're saying that once this PPP runs out in July, a lot of these businesses are going to close because they're literally being funded. Their day-to-day operations are being funded by the government right now, man.
Right.
So they got to have 75% of that loan go towards payroll, or they have to pay it back.
Yeah.
And it's tough for a businessman to struggle, because he's got to pay his electric bill, he's got to pay his rent on a building.
I know a lot of small business owners, and that's what they're saying. They're like, they're like, the only thing they're giving us is exactly what you said, enough money to for payroll. But he's like, I got kids, I got a mortgage, I got a whole house besides my business. My business took care of my house, you know. And then he said one of our main income was the people, because he's right next to a church. He said now they close the church. I can't have all them Christians and Catholics coming into my restaurant.
Man, I seen I peeked at one of my boss's national fuel bills. That shit was over $10,000 fucking dollars.
Man.
How are you supposed to pay that? You know,
Yeah.
if the government ain't helping you out,
Right.
And they're shutting you down.
Right. Which I saw something, they basically said, it's funny how you can't go to delis, you can't go to barber shops, you know, like small businesses, but you have Targets and Walmart, all these big corporations still open and no one's getting sick. And they said, seems like this was an attack on small business owners. And that's leading to what? The New World Edomite agenda, because he's basically creating a lane for all the people to go to. He's forcing you to go to Walmart for food, so you can't go to a mom and pop. Because when you get to that Walmart, they're going to have what? The RFID scanner or certain stipulations. You got to have the vaccine, you know, things like that.
Hey, what the scriptures prophesied about that, saying that the windows shall be darkened.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna get that.
I got a precept.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and we start at verse 23. And all the people were amazed and said, is not this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of devils. And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Right. Oh, great precept, man. Because Babylon is totally divided right now. And I believe just like a week ago, you had the largest flag in Sheboygan got ripped by a storm.
Yep.
Well, that was pretty much a sign, because America is totally divided. It's divided by race. It's divided by colorism. It's divided by social class. All right. It's divided by states. You have different states that want to succeed. It's totally divided.
Red and blue.
Look at it, man.
You got some states that want to continue the lockdown. You got some states that are saying fuck this shit.
Well, Minneapolis is completely independent right now. It's like a war zone. The people have taken over the police precinct. You got Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. You know, you got conservatives against Trump. You know, you got
That's spiritual, man, because that was where what was it? Philando Castile got killed.
Oh, that's right.
And that Darren Chauvin guy, he's got the same lawyer as the guy who represented the cop that shot Castile, man.
Wow.
And there's a big Federal Reserve chapter in Minneapolis, man. So there's got to be some, and there's like all kinds of Masonic temples. Minneapolis is a big elite city.
Wow.
This is verse 25 in Matthew 12. And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And
Does that happen to us? It said every kingdom that's divided shall not stand. Southern and northern kingdom. We got divided. Look what happened to us. So we're a prime example to show you that.
Yeah, and we read Ezekiel 37, it said there shall not be two kingdoms anymore.
Ooh.
He said Israel's not going to be two kingdoms anymore.
Meaning we're going to be brought as one, which is what's happening right now.
That's right.
And that's why the elites are afraid. They say they shall stand upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them with Sodom, because they see the rebuilding.
And that's spiritual because the Lord said he's going to what? Slowly remove these curses, man, from our people.
Yep.
You know?
And also, Ephraim shall not vex Judah.
Judah should not envy Ephraim.
And thy eye shall be evil towards thy brother, man. That's kind of being lifted.
And it's being lifted and put on Esau. You know?
That's the spirit you said that, man, because you go around, Jacob salute you, they say, they start talking to you. You know, usually you can't say what's up to a Jake, man. They give you a dirty look, ask you where you from.
Yeah.
You know?
Because right now we are living in a time where the kingdom is being transferred from one people to another.
Right.
But in order for that to happen, this kingdom has to be divided, and the elites have to take the freedom from the masses away. So and then after that, then you know the Yahweh Shai is going to order his elect to come down and put these devils into slavery.
Divide and conquer.
Another thing, they want to institute our martial law.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. This is all their agenda on that website. Shit hit the fan. They said this is not a revolution, but a blueprint to lock down a nation. This is all orchestrated. Esau, through the Lord, of course, Esau's allowing you to riot, to protest, because through uproars of the people of prophecy will come Jacob's trouble. Because they're taking over Minneapolis. Trump said, either you put it to an end or I will. And you know, Trump ain't playing. He got big guns, you know? And he's willing to take out some of his own people because he's the red horse. So all this is falling right in the line of prophecy.
So what did Trump do his first few months in office? He bombed Syria.
Yep.
And he dropped that, what is that, the Moab bomb?
Yep.
Just to make a statement.
Yep.
Man. Just to let people know, listen, this is a different guy than Obama. I'm
Yep.
not fucking around.
Yep.
hey, Trump's the guy, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe he's gonna get. Oh, the election is gonna cause a further divide.
Yep.
He said in his memoirs, man, it's written in his memoirs that in order to do the things that he wants in America, he has to have some form of martial law.
Yep.
Hold up here.
This is verse 26 in Matthew 12. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
Right, and Satan is the adversary, man. He's adverse to our power, us, everything that's righteous. He's adverse to it.
Yep.
You know, and now they're adverse to each other.
Yep.
You know, so there's no way that this kingdom can continue to last. It
So-
has to fall.
Right. So it's divided states of America. Oh, and what proves that, you have something called North America and South America. When South Americans trying to come to America, they get put in a damn camp. So that's division right there, you know?
And if I, by Beelzebub, cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore, they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of Yahweh, then the kingdom of Yahweh is come unto you.
Right, and the kingdom is within us.
I have a quick one for you. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Right, the modern day Egyptians are the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white people, which they're not white, they're red. You know,
The Jake woman said that in Africa. She said, nobody's white, nobody's black. They are pink and red. They call themselves rednecks. We are beautiful, bold, brown people.
right? We're different shades of brown. We're not black.
Right.
You know, they call it. This is why I watched that movie Malcolm X when he was in the library. They call you black because black is synonymous with things that are negative, wicked. That's why you have something called black male, etc.
This shit's getting so out of hand, man. They're thinking about changing the term whitelist and blacklist. Come
Well, they
on,
did
man. You
gender.
people need to fucking get over your damn emotions for little shit like that, man.
They Crayola's coming out with a crayon box that have colors of only people and countries. And guess what? There's no white crayon or black crayon.
You see, this devil's trying to reset everything and
Yep.
rebuild this new world order, man.
Yep.
He's going to change the way we communicate and everything.
Oh, you had this Israelite woman. I forgot where she was at, but she pretty much got the definition of racism changed to include systematic oppression of a people.
Oh, Webster's Dictionary.
The Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah.
Because in order to be, how can we be racist? We can't put up a no color sign up front of our restaurant.
Right.
We don't own anything.
Right.
You know, so the racists is the Edomites,
Yep.
man. They control everything. They have the power to not hire you.
Yep.
Or you be the last hired and the first to get fired.
Yep.
That's racism.
When I went to California, there's a sign on businesses that says we have the right to refuse service to anybody. So they could just refuse you just because you're a Jake. Finish off Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Right. Earlier this year, I believe they were in Virginia, where they was trying to take the guns away. You had all these Edomites meeting up. They came out with their guns, man. And just a few months ago, they were in Michigan trying to get the Governor Whitmer.
Yep.
They weren't out of office.
Yep.
You know, so they're going to fight each other. And that's the curses being pulled off us and being put on our enemies.
Yep.
Like the brother was saying earlier, there's a curse of an evil eye. You know?
These Edomites are going to be too focused on Black Lives Matter than the government itself, man.
Right.
It's divide and conquer right there.
Right. Which there are certain Edomites that actually speak on that. They'll be like, bro, don't focus on race. It's the government. So there's a couple Edomites that they're aware their government is wicked, which proves the spirit of the Declaration of Independence. You know, pretty much it's written to overthrow their government. You know.
Hey, this is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
Right, and one of those curses was for us to have an evil eye and kill one another and betray one another. But now that's common amongst you so-called white people.
Yep.
You're totally divided.
Yep.
You have whites that are for so-called black people, that with the Black Lives Matter movement, and then you have hardcore racists that just come out and say, "Oh, George Floyd should have complied, or he would still be alive."
Yep.
You know,
Then you got people coming out saying that George Floyd is still alive because there's people that come out saying that this guy used to hang out with Darren Chauvin at the bars and that they're in the same Masonic fraternity, man.
Right. And
You know, you can't make this shit up. It's all inside job.
And also, Obama tweeted about his death, I believe, 2 weeks before he died. or something like that. So yeah, they are juiced in, man. A Masonic ritual to provoke a reaction from these people.
Yeah.
You got it.
It's called Hegelian dialect. Problem, reaction, solution.
This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch."
Right, that's the end game for this place. And that's the end game for everybody who's not part of the elect. You know, the lake of fire, Babylon's going to look like a lake of fire. All right, what John the Revelator saw looking down from the chariot, it looked like a lake of fire. It's not actually a hell, a place where you burn forever.
Well, hey,
Right.
hell is going to be swallowed up, right?
Right.
Let me see if I got that.
This is verse 2. It says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall."
So while this place is being destroyed, the elect are going to be delivered via what you call UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomena, UAF or IFOs, identified flying objects to us. All right, as this place is being destroyed, the elect will be delivered, man. You watch that movie, This Is the End, they were getting beamed up.
That was like a comedy, right?
Yeah, but
But it was true, though.
Yeah.
Hey, the apostles always bring out the word comedy means food.
Mm.
Food for thought.
It is true.
I got one more verse. It says, "And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I do this, saith the Lord of hosts."
Yeah, the wicked, because this lady just asked me, she was like, I was walking down the street, she was like, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" I'm like, "Because I believe in the Lord." You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he gonna protect. She was like, "No, but you gotta use wisdom and all this shit." And I was like, she was like, but so you think everybody who died from the coronavirus was bad people? I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah, they was bad.
Well, hey, man.
Because
It's come out that these masks, they only stop you from spreading it to others.
But it don't matter. The Lord, even if you had the space suit on, the Lord can give it to you. The Lord fucking get you wherever. She was like, so you think all these people that died, 400,000, they were all bad people? I said,
Judgment.
you believe in the Bible? How many people lived through the flood? She ain't know. She ain't know. 8 people. The Lord gonna kill. He said, all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
Well, if the virus truly is airborne, then what's the mask going to do if it could get through your skin? Your skin is the largest organ on your body. Or if it could get through your eyes.
Yeah, if it gets stick on your clothes for a couple days, you know what I'm saying?
Gave it away already.
Right, so that mask is all bullshit, man. You know, we just wear it because, you know, Romans 13, obey the powers that be. You know, but we trust in the Lord, man.
And there's a lot of information coming out about these masks that they're bad for you, man. They increase your blood pressure, they increase your heart rate, you breathe in all kinds of extra carbon dioxide, you get anxiety.
And that weakens your immune system in itself. Like, 'cause you know, your body gets tired, and when your body gets tired, what happens? Your body gets weak.
Or you staying inside quarantine, not getting the proper vitamin D, weakens your immune system. So you start becoming systematic to flu-like symptoms, and now you think you got something.
They're saying vitamin D is like
during the Spanish influenza, they took patients, and there's pictures of nurses treating people outside in the sun.
I got something. This second Esdras chapter 8 verse 1. It said, and he answered me saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
Right, this world was made for a lot of people, man, to be wicked, you know, to so-called fulfill the pleasures of their flesh. All right, but the world to come, that's only for a few, man. That's what the Lord willing to be part of that number.
It say, I will tell you thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou asked the earth, it shall say unto thee that it gives much mold whereof earthly vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of.
Right, gold is a rare commodity to come by. That's why you have something called the gold rush with the movie Zorro.
Yep.
All right, all the treasures that Esau stole from us, man. It said he swallowed down riches, but he shall bomb them up.
Right. Well, it's funny because Esau has a condition where he's bulimic. You know, he'll eat and throw it up. Or the Romans, they would eat so much food for pleasure and then throw it up to make room. Yeah, so now you want to eat. Remember, he stole so much gold from the northern kingdom, his ship sunk, you know?
He shall vomit them
The
back
Romans
up.
used to take a cow and stuff it with like a goat.
Damn!
Stuff it with like a fucking duck. And then a chicken. They used to stuff animals inside animals.
To eat.
To eat and waste like half of it.
He's got his eyes stand out with fatness.
These sick-ass Romans used to pour bottles of wine down their rectum because they said it got them drunk.
Oh, they do that now. It's they're enemas. They show that shit on TV, man. There was two Edomite couples. They were sitting on the bathroom floor with coffee enemas holding hands, getting high.
Vile man.
Yeah.
The scripture say the vile man.
All of in the earth.
Damn, bro.
They do that with Mountain Dew, too.
Damn, bro.
Do the do, right?
Oh, he says there's something they say they have an oral fixation, where they just gotta eat or smoke. They're just all in the flesh. Their mind is their flesh, you know.
They're like Bender when he got a body.
Right. Esau's the one, he'll overeat, then get liposuction, and then still keep overeating, you know. Yeah.
Say, even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved.
Right, and the Lord is only going to save his elect who he chooses to save. That's it. Not everybody's going to make it. A lot of people are going to die from the pestilence. A lot of people are going to die from the famine. A lot of people are going to die from police brutality.
Yep.
There's going to be more George Floyds. There's going to be more Eric Garner. All right?
Yep.
There's prophecy.
Scripture say even the righteous shall be scarcely saved.
Right.
I got something real quick. You just read about the world to come, right? This is Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. It says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Right.
And
So there's three heavens. There's heaven on earth, which is the rulership. Then there's the heavens where you see the constellations, the sun and moon. Then there's the spiritual realm where Yahweh and Yahushua sits on his right hand, man. But this heaven, this rulership is going to be done away with.
Right.
All right? The earth is going to be, the real New World Order is when Yahushua and the elect get off those ships.
Right.
All right? And the whole world is going to have to obey our laws, statutes, and commandments. That's going to be the true New World Order.
Right.
it says, and I saw John, Salakia, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right, so that's when the elect get translated. All right, they're going to get new bodies. They're going to come down those ships. They're going to establish righteousness on the earth. You know, as it is written, the saints shall take the kingdom.
Yep. Like Brightburn, take the world.
Oh, yeah. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them.
Right, it's with men, but which men? Because it's not with all men. You know, it's only with the Israelite men. All right? It tells you, I believe, Deuteronomy, that there shall be a wisdom in the sight of the nations. So nations going to seek us for wisdom, just like Queen Sheba saw Solomon for wisdom.
I got a quick one about the men. This is Exodus 13:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and beast, it is mine. So the Lord, well, one, he deals with the firstborn, and two, he deals with the men. And then if you keep going in Deuteronomy, it says, 3 times a year all men shall appear before me.
Can you get that one in Ezekiel 34? Yep. The flock of my pasture are men.
Yep.
It said, Slakia. It says, and I heard a voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people.
So we must know his name then, right? If the tabernacle of the covenant is with men, then we must know his name, we must know about him. It makes perfect sense. And you got people that say you don't know the name, the Lord never had a color. He was eating with Peter when he told him to feed my sheep.
Right.
You know?
It says, hold on, bro, hold on. Let me finish this out, Baba Shah. And the Most High shall be with them, and they and shall be their power.
That's beautiful.
And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying.
Right, so the worries that you have in this life, you get old, you get infirmities, you get sick, you got asthma, you got allergies, you're coughing up mucus, you got to worry about your children, vaccinations. All of your worries in this life, you ain't going to have those worries no more, man. You're not going to worry about dying or baby mama drama or getting stopped by the cops.
Right.
You know?
You're going to actually have assurance of your life. And the curses say you wasn't going to have assurance of your life.
Right.
It says, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Man, shit, I can't even sit down without back pain. Man. You know? I got that precept for you. Ezekiel 34 and 30. Thus shall they know that I, the Lord, their power, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, saith the Lord power, and ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men.
Flock of the pasture are men, man. It starts with the men first.
Yep.
I mean, yes, there's an elect lady, but it starts with the men. You know?
And I am your power, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.
Yeah, man. The most high deals with order, going back to what Mara was saying, and the head of the household, head of the average household is the man.
Yep.
And the Lord deals with the men. You know, just like the scripture said.
And the Lord chose men to teach. You know, because people want to say we're men pleasers. The Lord set up an order. And Paul said, be followers of me as I'm followers of Yahushai.
Right.
You know?
Well, people wouldn't even be objective to it if they weren't westernized. If you didn't have a Western mindset of feminism, you know, there's a lot of things that we've gone through in our life that actually put a demonic mindset on you without knowing it. Like Eve. Eve, only reason she went off is because the serpent put a thought in her head that she never thought. You know, there's things you don't think, and then that's why Yahushua said it's not what goes in, but what comes out.
That's right.
You know what I mean? If you see a lot of wicked shit, but then until you start believing in it and walking in it, now you become it.
You are what
That's
you
why
consume.
women could go from sweet as can be to fucking downright crazy.
Right. Over a dream.
Snap of a thumb, man.
She could dream you cheated on her and she's bugging out on you. You know? It's crazy.
You're fickle.
Fickle.
Yeah, that's the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 10. It says, be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahushua Mashiach, whom ye crucified, whom Yahweh raised from the dead, even by him do this man stand before you whole. This is the stone that was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner. Neither is there salvation in any other.
Oh, well, you just said the corner. You got L. Sharpton saying George Floyd is the cornerstone. Wow. You brother seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Elder Apostle Ramlav.
I say make that video
Yep.
on the cornerstone of the building.
Right. He said, I wonder if Vocab's going to do a video about that. You see? People only want to come against us. They don't want to defend the truth. You know?
And Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackass Jackson, they've been out there telling these bullshit lies.
Yep.
And you Jakes, since I was a kid, man.
Yeah,
And you Jakes still fall for these fucking
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah, man, they've been leading the flock to the slaughter for the longest, man.
They had Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. They were crying when Obama got elected, man, with them fake tears.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a known fact, which they put on the news. L. Sharpton admitted he's an FBI informant. So he's admitted I'm tied in. You know?
Looking skinny as hell, too.
Yeah.
He looked like a crackhead.
I read this. Oh, Salah. This is real quick, bro. I get ready. Now go ahead. Finish it.
Yeah, it say neither is there salvation in any other.
Right, there's no salvation in the name Yahushua, Yeshua. Yahweh, God, Jesus Christ, Most High Christ, blessed. There's no salvation in those names.
It said, there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So we do know the name. It say the name was given among men.
This is Proverbs 8:1, the points in the fourth verse. Doth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice? I'm just talking about what the prophet's going out there and teaching, man. Where are all these female prophets at? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way and the places of the paths. She crieth at the gates, and this is talking about wisdom. This isn't talking about women, you know, because a lot of Christians will see that word she there. At the
And go
entry of
nuts.
the city, at the coming in at the doors, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. The sons of man. Alright? You can't get any more simple than that. And that word ban appears twice in that verse. The Hebrew word.
Right, that's the Hebrew word for son, right?
Yeah.
So men. So the Most High starts with the men. Wisdom is likened unto feminine. All right, that's why you got the Greek word Sophia, all right, which is a female's name.
That's why it also says if a woman will learn anything, let her learn at home from her husband.
And if you read in the book of John, when the Lord was talking to the woman at the well, she was like, give me, she said, could you give me this water so I thirst never? He said, go home and get your husband. And that showed you.
All five.
Yeah, go back.
Except these days it'll be get all 98.
This is real quick. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. Y'all speaking about Al Sharpton or whoever. It says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed.
Yeah, L. Sharpton, Oprah Winfrey,
With that Farrakhan.
They're like
Waynes.
pacifiers for our people.
Yep.
Esau will put them in front of the podium to comfort you. And it's an ongoing cycle. Every time a nigga get killed, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton on the first flight to their
They
city.
come out of nowhere. Even that, what's that black lawyer that's representing George Floyd filming? You seen him?
Yeah, you got the bald head nigga.
Yeah, he always he was for what's the little dude from Florida that Kenyon Martin, what's the young boy with the hoodie that got killed? Trayvon Martin. He was the same lawyer Trayvon Martin had. And he beat for a lot of the dudes that get killed.
Yep. They just being set up, you got it.
This book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 10. For the Lord, Yahweh, have poured upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered.
Yeah, so a lot of our people they don't pay attention to what the Lord is doing. His men, the word. They pay attention to the leaders that were given to them by their enemy, the white man.
Right.
And they lead them right to destruction.
Right.
L. Sharpton, Farrakhan, they lead them to destruction. You got this new guy. What's his name again?
A flashback. Grandmaster Jay.
Grandmaster Jay. He's leading you to destruction.
Yeah.
Telling you to take up arms and go to war with the police.
Yep.
And the scripture says, he that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword.
I got a quick one going on to all that. Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths.
Right, so they're playing off your emotions. They're giving you all these fake leaders so that you can buy guns, you can stockpile ammo, so you can go to war with the police, man.
Judas goes.
Judas goes.
I got it right here.
You know, they all receive a bag, and they're leading you, marching you, and then right at the last minute, he dips to the left, and you all fall to the flank.
And you find out that he was juiced in the whole time.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, you got rappers now. I just voted. You know, Offset, they gave him a bag out of the Three Amigos, set him and Cardi B up. Cardi B to be the face of whore cleanism for the black woman.
Right, a trap nigga and a stripper.
Right.
Transfer the queendom from Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj
right,
to her.
right. And now you got Offset like, yeah, I just voted. It feels good. Like, shut. Like, they fall for the same gimmick, man.
What's his brother's name? Is his brother Stephen Jackson, the ball player?
Yeah, George Floyd's brother, Stephen Jackson.
He said Trump, we getting you out the house.
Yeah, he said we coming for you.
This poor guy, George Floyd, man, he knew some pretty
important people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he was also a porn star. And that's where they found his boule tattoo, like LeBron James, on his chest. He said, "Call me Floyd the landlord." And he was on some porn.
Somebody collecting rent.
And he's from Texas. Yeah, bro. That shit, it's all set up.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It really is.
Media magic.
Yeah. Well, media, it means is the goddess of illusion.
Yeah, I
Illusion.
got something right here. That's a spirit, because I got a perfect precept for this. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Yeah, that's the elites. You know, right now as we speak, they're devising iniquity.
Yeah.
You know, they have order out of chaos, but that's what this whole thing is about. They bring the chaos, and then they bring their form of order, which is going to be the RFID chip.
Yep.
Or forced vaccinations.
Yeah,
You know.
In Singapore, they just mandated. You seen that?
Yep,
In
wearable
Singapore,
yep.
they just mandated that everybody got to wear
A tracking device.
tracking device.
Wristband.
All every citizen in the whole nation.
Yep.
And when something like that happens, it spread throughout all the world.
Yep. When they do it in places like that, it's like a trial run. Let's go to a small city in Asia and cancel the dollar and let them do this.
They're gonna say, "Oh, look how it worked out in Singapore."
Yep.
We should do this
Singapore is
thing.
supposed to be one of the freer Asian countries, man. And look at that. They just mandated it overnight.
Right. Overnight. Yep.
One more free Asian nation.
Also, China's putting up 600,000 5G towers. You know, so they moving ahead with that too.
Khan, this is Micah chapter 2, verse 1 again. Woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
So destruction for you devising your new world order. Oh, it says that his sins should not fulfill his enterprise. You shall reign upon him while he's eating.
Yep.
When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands.
Right, because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, so they have the power to manipulate you and fake somebody's death on live TV, and you'll believe this shit and go out and protest.
Yep.
Then in the midst of your protest, there's Asian provocateurs,
Yep.
flipping cars, busting out windows, setting up bricks. You know,
Monkey see, monkey do.
And they,
You got it.
and they do all this to further oppress, the poor. Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence.
how did they get America? The natives were at peace with Esau, but they stabbed them in the back.
Yep.
So-called first Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It was a massacre.
Yep.
You know.
He did it too with no honor. He would wait for the men to go out hunting, and then he would rape and kill the children. Which he did that to King David. When King David was out hunting, they came in and kidnapped his wives, they kidnapped the children. It's in numbers, man.
He's a coward. That's
Yep.
why he got snipers.
Yep.
You know, he don't want to do you hand-to-hand contact.
Nope.
He wants to kill you from a distance.
Yep. Call you nigger over the internet and brother in person.
Internet,
In the time of the Maccabees, they waited till it was the Sabbath day so they wouldn't fight.
Bro.
They cowards.
And then they're, let's go get them on the Sabbath day
Right.
because they're not going to even fight back.
Right.
They cowards.
Esau with his loopholes, man. Esau's always down to find a loophole so he can get away with something.
Right.
They're cowards, man.
Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. When you really ponder it, the world was made for our sakes. We're being oppressed in our own house, man. You know, you got
By our what's that called? Because they belong. Really, the heathen belong to us. They are inherited.
Yeah.
They are inheritance.
So our own servants are oppressing us in our own house. That's crazy.
That's the show of power of the Lord, though.
Right. It tells you, I have seen servants walking, and I have seen servants on horses, and princes walking as servants on the earth. You know?
Deuteronomy 32 and 9, and then I'm going to get Psalm 2. Zach, will you find it? All right,
I got
I'll read
Psalms 2 already.
Oh, okay. I'll read this first. Deuteronomy 32 and 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Right, Jacob, Israel, and we were given by a promise unto Abraham. We were given to Jerusalem, the land of Israel. But right now, who dwells in our land? Bastards, frauds. All right, fraudulent people claiming our heritage.
Hey, we're the Lord's inheritance, and these heathen are our inheritance in return. You know, because we're sent in the image of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we were set up to be the perfect rulers of the land, and to teach these heathen, man, how to properly behave and to follow the laws of the Heavenly Father, because they're going to have to.
Right, so in the kingdom heathens, you won't see a video of a goddamn goop eating a live turtle or tadpoles.
Or fucking centipede, or man, some of the shit I've seen gooks eat on the internet.
Or octopus, or all,
Snails and all types of things.
they eat all type of stuff, man. You won't have brothels where you can go and have sex with animals.
I've seen this good-looking Chinese bitch who's dancing, right? At some cliff, and she just takes a live chicken, the thing's fucking flapping in her hands, and she just bit the damn heart out of it. I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is that, man?
That proves that these heathens, they need lords over them, man. They need to be ruled over. They really do. Look at Esau, man. Look what he's doing. He's destroying the earth.
This is Psalms 2 and 8 through 10. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel."
They say, "Ask of me, and I will give you them for thine inheritance." Right. And we're going to actually put these people in slavery. All right. It tells you they shall take them captives whose captives they were. All right.
It says, "Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth."
Just real quick for correction, I misspoke. I said Numbers 20 about Esau kidnapping David's wives. It's 1 Samuel 30. So brothers want to read that about Esau's wicked war tactics.
Esau fights dirty. All right. If you look up fighting dirty, Esau will be next to the definition.
Even Gladiator, remember he stabbed the gladiator under his armor and then came.
Right. Where everybody always talks about how, you know, there's all these international laws about war crimes and shit like that, you know. What Esau does to get around that is he hires that mercenary group, Blackwater, because they're an international, military contractor. They're not bound by any international laws, man.
Right.
So Esau come in and bomb a place, right? And he'll say, well, we got to bomb a school now or a hospital.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that, you know, war crime.
Yeah.
So they have Blackwater going fucking.
Yep. They showed you that in the movie Angel Has Fallen. There's like a shadow military militia group that would be hired by international government or domestic, and they will go throughout America or anywhere and do their bidding.
And they're saying that they had an interview with this one dude in the military, man. He was saying that if the military just refuses to fire on the rioters and protesters, they'll just send in Blackwater.
Yep.
And you don't want Blackwater to come in.
Yep. Well, now you got George Floyd's family saying they want the UN to come in to disarm the American police. And who you think started the defund police agenda? Esau. Hashtag defund police. Jake didn't come up with that. Because if they did, they would have thought of that shit years ago.
Hey, and also what's going on in Buffalo with that old guy just fell where he got pushed by the cops in the front of City Hall. That led to 57 officers resigning from the emergency squad.
Yep.
So that what that's gonna do, that's gonna lead towards the troops coming in because Trump said not too long ago, if these states don't get it together, he's gonna take control and bring the troops in.
And that emergency squad is the riot police. So
Yep.
there's no more riot police in Buffalo right now.
So a lot of cops gonna quit the force.
Yep. Oh, what was it in New York where the cop was standing there? He said, "You're calling us animals. We got 300." You brother see that shit? He said y'all treating us like animals, and I was thinking, I'm like, but y'all throw people on the ground, handcuff them like animals, shoot them and leave them dead like an animal.
Without probable cause.
Right.
Esau kill you, then cuff you.
Yep. I've seen it. How many times, bro? Shot a Jake at the corner of the house, then 5 of them were just standing over him. Nobody's performing CPR, no one's calling in emergency, nothing. You know?
Then after all that, they'll put you in cuffs and they'll ask you, "Are you all right?"
Yep.
After they killed you.
Yep. Or when they shot Philandro, he's still holding a gun. I told him don't move, and he's just still standing there with a gun. Like, bro, he's dead.
Hey, that speech you talking about, somebody photoshopped them with all KKK
Yep.
hats on.
Yeah, and they were standing there pissed.
This is the book of Second Esdras in Apocrypha, chapter 15, and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Prophecy means to say before it happens. All right, and my people is the Israelites, and that's why we do these videos, and we put them on YouTube for our people to watch them. But only the elect are going to take heed to it.
Hey, Israelites, which are these so-called African Americans, so-called Native Americans, and so-called Hispanics, and you're just like foreigners that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth.
Right, that may look like the other nations, because what's an African American? That's not a nationality. What's the Puerto Rican? That's not a nationality. Right? You look up Indian, it goes back to being a savage.
Right.
All right, so these are all part of our curses, bywords.
You had a Jake, he was at like a speech, which I think he knew as an Israelite, and he said, I'm going to name a people, and you name their country. He said China, Chinese, French, France, you know what I mean? He named all of them, and then he said black, and they said, wow. They couldn't tell you. So that shows you right there, you're a people, you're a race of people with no nationality.
Which that's part of the crafty council, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Yeah.
And it's spiritual because the real ones without an actual home nation are the kikes over there in Israel, man.
Right. Right.
It says, behold, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Right, so we're not just making this up. We ain't just sit down one day and think, I'm gonna just go out there and say things.
I'm going to say Ephraim is the Puerto Ricans.
Right.
You know? I'm going to say the white man's Esau.
He's the devil.
But nobody questions when Esau said he's the Jews.
Or he's God.
Right. Or nobody questioned when he said God could save everyone. You know? John 3:16. No one questions John 3:16.
No one has a problem with iconoclasm. No one has a problem with the image of Caesar Borgia.
Right.
All right? But if you bring out the real image, they'll have a problem with that.
But it doesn't matter. Color shouldn't matter.
Yeah, they call him an anti-Semite. which Jews are not the only nation that come from Shem.
Yeah.
You know?
Chinese people from Shem.
Right.
Yeah. If you notice, they took the H out of Shem, the Ha, which the Ha character in the Hebrew means breath.
Mm.
So they don't have no. That's spiritually. They don't have no breath in them.
It don't make sense, man.
It don't make sense, but it makes dollars.
This is verse 2. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
And that's how we get the Bible. The Lord, he put the Spirit on men. He gave them visions. He gave them dreams. He sent other prophets to them. He gave them scribes.
Yeah.
And that's how we get this collection of books.
Yeah.
All right. It's not. No man just sat down and put all of this together. It's too accurate.
Right.
You know, it had to be inspired from divine individuals.
And at different time periods of life. You know?
Hey,
Right.
hence,
Because this was written thousands of years ago, but now we see it happening.
Yep.
hey, hence the name Holy Bible.
Right.
The word holy means,
Separate.
So this thing is like, it's out there, man.
It's in its own class.
That's right.
And that's why the Bible is the most printed book ever. The most sold book, the most brought book. You watch the movie Book of Eli. Which book did you want? You wanted the Bible.
I got one verse real quick. Psalm 68 and 11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it.
The Lord gave the word. Right. It tells you in another scripture, the Lord sent his word and he healed them.
Yep.
So this word is healing us.
I got one.
Right. And we all have personal testimonies of that. You know, Christians can't give their testimonies of how, like, the Christianity doesn't change your life. Christians aren't living sacrifices for Jesus. You know what I mean? Like this actually changed our lives.
That's right.
You know, and is changing, and it's changing the world.
This is the true baptism. Because you could be in the world, go to a church, get baptized, but still go back to being a gangbanger,
Yep.
smoking weed, selling drugs. You have to be cleansed.
Hey,
That's the only way. That's the only time when Christianity actually helps anybody is when they're in fucking jail.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
hey, John the Baptist said, I baptize you with water, but he that cometh will baptize you with the Holy Spirit. And
Yeah.
that's the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like what the brother was saying, he said, this is the baptism.
Yeah.
Hey, wherewithal shall the young man cleanse his way?
Yeah.
The washing with the word.
Just a quick one going on to the prophecy. Because why do we somebody said, well, why do you prophesize, right? 1 Corinthians 14:4 He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, like Christians in a church, right? Jumping up and down. It says, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church. So we prophesy to edify Yahweh sheep on what's to come. You know?
And we're watchmen.
Yep.
If you're a watchman, you have a kingdom. You have watchmen on your walls to watch out for invaders, watch
Yep.
out for the enemy, man.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. We're standing upon our watch.
I got a precept, and this is really the only thing we anybody could do. Well, only Israelites. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 8. The lion have roared, who will not fear? The Yahweh Hashem Yahushai have spoken, who can but prophesy? This is the only thing that you can do for your salvation. You know, you're demonstrating your rehearsing the righteous acts, so the Lord can see you worthy. So we can be pleasant in the sight of the Lord.
It's a lie. It's not the only thing you can do for your salvation, because you got the spirit of gifts. Let's go that. What was that? 1 Corinthians 14.
I know what you're saying. There's different offices.
Yeah, and like in Matthew where it say the man that gave the cup of water,
He receives a prophet's reward.
right, you get a prophet's reward.
Well, the Lord gives visions too to other nations as well. You know, other visions of prophecy. You know.
The great example of that is Balak and
Yeah.
Balaam.
I got it.
The Lord showed that Moabite that we were going to rule.
Yep.
This is
I got it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse verse 3. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of Yahweh calleth Yahweh Shai accursed, and that no man can say that Yahweh Shai is the Lord but by the Holy Spirit. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all.
So that proves through the Holy Spirit we're becoming a government, because within a government you have branches, you have orders, you have what they call sects. You know what I mean? So there's different compartments to the Holy Spirit that's resting upon Israel right now.
Or even the military. You have a general,
Soldier.
lieutenant, soldier, captain.
Yeah.
No, that's order. That's structure.
Yeah.
well, hey, what do you call it? Sports? You call it an organization.
Right.
You know, they had different players on the team that all perform different roles,
Yeah.
different members of the coaching staff.
Yep.
You know,
And then they go to what? They ask the coach, what's your plans today? What's your game plan today? You know, and in the world, I used to always say, I'm like, why the hell are you asking the coach? He ain't throwing the ball. But now coming into the truth, you learn order, you learn who the elder is, and you learn how things are done. You know, like, oh, that's order. You know?
Right. And it's like football. You have the offensive lineman that will do what? Protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
You got your wide receivers that go out.
Yeah. So and it's like in the truth, you got your speakers, if you will, your readers, your sign holders,
And the point is, the whole team get the win.
That's
So
right.
the whole body get the win, no matter. Let me read on.
Even in a Super Bowl, even a bench player gets a ring. You get a ring, baby. Same
well, hey,
penny.
when there's team chemistry, right? The team plays good.
Yeah.
When the team's all discombobulated, they play like shit. No
Yep.
matter how talented.
Yep.
Right? It's the same thing with these camps, man. You got some brothers, in the various camps being demons, causing problems. And then when they get cast out, it's like a veil is lifted off
Yep.
the camp, and they shine.
Yep.
Like Yaradah.
Exactly. When the team has great chemistry, they're having fun, they're throwing alleys. They're making jokes while they're playing.
Right.
It flows smoothly.
Yep.
Same thing with the truth.
This is verse 6 in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. And there are diversities of operations, but it's the same power which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit with all. For to one is given the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit.
Right. Some brothers are very wise. You got brothers that are very knowledgeable about history, herbs, all right, different things of that nation, how to use this world. Scripture tells you use this world, but don't abuse it. You got brothers that they're very good of how to use this world, and you can learn things from them.
You got brothers that are good with, money, good with, certain skills,
Yep.
outdoor skills.
You got
I got
more?
more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a 12?
Yeah. To another, faith by the same Spirit. To another, the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, discerning of spirits. To another, diverse kinds of tongues.
And that was the first talent that was given. Remember of tongue. Acts 1.
No, that's Acts second
That's
chapter.
the second, yeah.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, second chapter. Second chapter.
Right, speaking in tongues is speaking different languages.
Yeah, that's
Not-
speaking differently.
It's not what they're doing in the church. It's not that I'm summoning. It's not that bullshit.
Yeah, cause this girl had asked me that. She was like, "Yeah," she was like I was we was going into the scripture. She was like, "But what about speaking in tongues?" Like, I'm like, that's a demon.
That's a demon.
That's a demon. And she was like, "But my grandma," I was like, "That's a demon.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Your great granny, motherfucker."
9 times out of 10, they always give the example of their granny or the mom.
Yeah,
or the
your
auntie.
grandma.
Yeah.
Yo, I used to. Oh man.
Everybody thinks
I
that.
used to be in church. I used to be in church. I thought I was wicked. I used to be there laughing like a motherfucker. What the fuck? And everybody looked at me like I was the weirdo.
Right. They're all moved by
Everybody
it.
think the 144,000 is going to be a bunch of grannies and babies.
Yeah.
Right.
White woman.
Wait.
Let me finish it. To another, the interpretation of tongues.
Right,
But-
so some brothers speak different languages, some brothers can translate.
Yep.
Some brothers are very good with the prophecies of the scriptures.
Yep.
You know, there's different gifts that each brother has. Some brothers are very artistic.
Yep.
You know how to make signs, video editing,
Brotherly.
brotherly. You know?
That's why Paul spoke about every man has his own measure of faith. You know.
But all these worketh that one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will.
Right, so we all different. We have different personalities, characteristics, likes, dislikes. But it's the same spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai that make up the one
My
body.
whole body.
The same team.
Where that's at? Where it's in Corinthians where it said the tongues. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the body parts
Yeah.
for their many members.
Yeah.
I got it right here. It's in the same chapter. You
Same
want
chapter,
it?
if you read on.
Yeah.
You can read out.
Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 12 and 14. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, and I am not of the body, it is it therefore not of the body. And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body. Right? So brother said, oh man, I don't prophesy as much as him. I'm not in the truth. I don't mean that. Each you got to do. Your pinky toe ain't tripping about your big toe. It's over here doing what the pinky need to do, you know?
Yeah, Paul said, though I labor more abundantly than all the 12,
Yep.
you know.
And he also said you could move mountains, you could do this, but if you ain't charitable, you ain't shit, man. So that's to keep you humble. Just because you can have a spirit on you to prophesize more or look more or read more don't mean you're above another brother. That's why Yahushua washes men's feet to show you, like, look, I'm gonna put myself at the lowest of this for you, man.
Those guys that started off on fire when me and Brother Zion came in, man. You know, some turned into scoffers.
Man,
Like a Tazawamian.
man.
What was his channel? Malak Shar or whatever?
Oh, we did.
Element.
Man.
You know?
1 Corinthians 12 and 16, and if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body?
Right, so just because you have a different office from another brother doesn't mean that you're less important to the body.
Right.
Because each body has a specific function.
Right.
But without it, your body wouldn't be whole.
Right.
You know, think about how you would be without your eyelids. Right. You need them. So
Right.
we all need each other.
Right.
Think about how you would be without your pinky and your big toes.
Yeah.
You need to be off balance.
Yeah.
Things that you don't,
The small things.
things that you take for granted, you need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But-
The scriptures say, when you know, there was an account in the scriptures in the New Testament where the disciples asked Yahushai, who will be the greatest in the kingdom? And Yahweh Shai said, whosoever, humble, in other words, whosoever humble that themselves as this child shall be the greatest.
He brought the baby in. He brought the baby in amongst all these great men. And so you got to be as his child, man.
Yeah, because children are, they're meek. They listen, they take instructions. Yeah.
They're born with faith. They believe some big so-called white man climbs down a fucking 12 by 6 brick chimney and brings all these presents. That's faith.
Yeah. Fresh out the spiritual world, man.
Right.
They see things for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And you people act like that shit's been around forever. The story of fucking Santa Claus was invented in like the 1900s.
Yeah.
By Coca-Cola.
And the body moves according to the mind. So that's why the whole body is in sync with the mind. That's why you get judged in these bodies. You feel pain in these bodies because if you're thinking wickedly and do wickedly like commit adultery, you did it in this body according to the thought of your mind.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 12 and 17. If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole body were hearing, where were the smelling? But now has the Most High set the members, every one of them in the body, as it has pleased him. And if they were all one member, where were the body?
Your brother know what I said in Sirach? He make it man how he liked them best.
Yeah.
So the Lord set up these camps, he set up the leadership, he set it up how he wanted it according to his will.
And also, when you look at the different elements of the earth, they were made to do a specific thing. Same thing with men in the body. The Lord put them there to strengthen a certain part in the body.
It's like the Power Rangers, how they all come together and form this one big machine.
Yeah.
That's like the 144.
You want that? Yep, you want right to the point? Yeah. This is Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 33 and 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man it is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. So everything you go through, your position, your lot, that's all set up by the Lord,
Yeah, you younger brothers, man, read that book, Sirach. That's like the book of manners. That's like the book of good behavior. If you really think about it.
Right. Christianity don't teach you good behavior.
That's right. And when you're trying to wash away these things of the world that have been in your mind your whole life, that's a good way to do it, man, by behaving properly.
Right.
Christianity says the law is done away with.
That's the spirit, because I wanted to do a lesson how, like when you read, you're installing new thoughts. Because you have all these thoughts in your head from what you've seen, what you've been through, but when you read the scriptures, it's telling you how to act, how to think. So you're downloading righteous thoughts to pretty much, keep your mind occupied. Because what's that saying in the world? Idle mind is a devil's playground.
Scriptures say that we're made out of clay, man.
Right. You mold the clay.
Yeah. And if anything else, anything you do in the world, filter it with the Holy Bible, with the scriptures, the Apocrypha, even what we're doing. Judge everything according to this word, and you should not fail, walk in this path. That's why you can't go to like all these other camps, because they teach different doctrines. Filter everything, include, everything. And then you'll see who has the truth.
Right.
Yeah, guys, a lot.
I got a precept. This is Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do all that is written therein, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
So you have to meditate in these things, and you have to pray to apply the scriptures.
Yeah.
Because you can't just be a hearer and not a doer. You have to do both. Because you have to put in work. Us being out here is doing the work. We're showing our faith. The fact that we out here, weekend after week.
James 1 and 22, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, which that's going back to the body. He said, I got eyes, I got ears, I got mouth, I got feet, toes,
They have different functions. That mean they're doing something.
Right.
The ears doing this job, the eyes are
Right.
doing this job.
Right. But be ye, James 1:22, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Got that? Real quick, can you give me something?
John chapter 6, verse 29. This is John chapter 6, verse 29. Yahushua answered and said unto them, this is the work of Yahweh, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent.
So this is the work that we believe on Yahweh Shai. So just having faith in the Lord is just part of the work.
Right, Yahushua. And when you rewind to the first chapter, the 14th verse, it explains that the Yahushua is the word.
Yep.
He became flesh.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as the whole body fear the Lord, that's the crown of the whole body. You know?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 10. It says, if thou wilt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power to do his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, for this commandment which I command thee this day is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off.
Wow. And it's not hidden, it's right there.
Yeah.
You holding it in your hand.
It was right on your coffee table when you was little.
Right.
Right. Open the Psalm
Right.
23.
Right.
Open the Psalm 23.
Right.
It said
And if I still like to make a point, you can even pray that for that scripture.
Yeah.
You know, when you read scriptures, pray what you just read.
Yeah.
Like the brother read of Joshua. Pray that your spirit meditates day and night.
Psalms 51.
Right. Pray for what you're reading. Actual what's written down, pray that. You don't gotta think of a new way it's written.
Yeah.
The job's been done. Now you're walking in it.
Yeah, we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
That's
Just
right.
keep it spinning.
Yeah. Yep.
It say, it is not in heaven. It say, it is not in heaven that thou shalt sayest, who shall go up for us to heaven
Right. It's not in the heavens.
and bring it to us that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shalt sayest, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us that we may hear and do it.
Right. It's not like it's in Israel. We got to find a way to get back there.
Right.
Get under Solomon's temple. And
Right.
Get it, you know.
Get an archaeologist degree, get a permit, and you know what I mean? No, it's such a mercy. It's written in our oppressor's language, and we can read it.
It said, but the word is very nigh unto thee in thy mouth and in thy mind, that thou mayest do it.
Pretty much every major city, there's brothers out there, man. There's brothers in Miami, Los Angeles, New York City, different parts of upstate New York.
Right.
There's brothers everywhere. And then the internet. Everybody has a smartphone. Then everybody be on YouTube. So chances are you came across this word at some point.
Yep.
Or you will come across it, man. 'Cause now you got Ice Cube bringing out the truth.
Yep.
You know?
It said, see, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil, and that I command thee this day to love Yahweh thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest livest and multiply, and the Lord thy power shall bless thee in the land where thou shalt go to possess it.
Right, because love is not what you think. See, the love of the world, Valentine's Day, you're in love with a woman,
Right.
you don't want me. Love is when you keep the most out. If you love me, keep my commandments.
That's right.
My commandments are not grievous.
Right.
It's not grievous to keep the Shabbat. To abstain from certain things. It's actually beneficial for your soul. You know?
Real quick for him.
One more time.
1 John 5:3, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
This is
But we know all things work together good to those that love the Most High.
Even coming out here. Like a lot of people, they're not in season and out of season. You know, like today it might be too breezy for them. Or they call us snow dummies. You know?
oh wait, there's a quarantine. We can't go outside.
Right. Oh, right. Quarantine radio.
It say,
That's let every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling, man. So
And a lot of these, they're not. A lot of these camps, they're not, bro. They're not. They're not working out their own salvation. They want salvation from Johanna or Nate, or Comfy or the guy, GOCC.
And another thing, you have a lot of cats that are coming up another way. They don't give double honors. They out there with guns. They're just doing fishy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, these children.
it say, but if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them.
Oh, we have met this one guy, man. The dude came up to us like, oh, you got these stones. How y'all know about them?
He said, who are y'all? Remember? He
Yeah.
said, who are y'all? Y'all from here? And we just chilling.
Then the dude started telling us about how he sacrificed candles, he put curses on, he prays to Venus.
Yup.
So Jacob is really praying to other gods.
Yup.
They're really gone.
It's going to tell you what happened, though. It say, if thy heart be turned away, that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days in the land.
And when you read Baruch, that's the whole reason why we're in this situation. That we are sacrificed unto devils and not to the Most High.
Yeah. And the God is just, an image that you set up. Matter of fact, I believe written somewhere, I think it's Epistle, Jeremiah, and Apocrypha, where it's like, you are more gods than they, because we able to move, talk, so we just manifestations of the Heavenly Father's creation.
What's that book? Bell the Dragon?
Yep,
Bell the Dragon. Yeah.
I got a quick one. This is Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
And that's why I say seek the Lord while he may be found, because we don't know the day or the hour. So you can't just say, well, I'm gonna start going out there next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start taking heed to this after I graduate college or whatever. All right, you can't put off the Lord.
Right. Right. There's actually a spirit, brothers can give testimony as myself, where when I first got it, I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta get it. What's the name? You running, you looking, you searching high and low. Like there's an urgency. There's an actual, it ain't you slothful. No man, you running out there. You ain't did enough lessons, or you ain't watching enough videos. You like, oh shit, I hope the Lord don't judge me.
Hasten is coming.
Right.
Man, if there's a day in this truth where, we might be busy throughout the day, we didn't have time to watch too many videos, you get a little guilty.
Yep, that's exactly right. You get a little guilty because in your spirit you have an obligation that you have to live up to, and you want to. It's not grievous like, I gotta watch the brother video. I'm watching like, oh shit, that's what happened. Getting recharged. Like the Jake came to camp. He said, I needed this. I got my battery recharged.
Any other precepts I want to close out with?
I'll do it.
This is Galatians 5 and 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, faith, meekness. Meekness is very important, man. Temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Yahushai's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. So we have to do away with those fleshly lusts, man. Right. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. That's why it's important to check your own thoughts and make sure that your thoughts are spiritual and not carnal.
Right.
Let us not be desirous of vainglory. And that's it on that chapter. But
I gotta. No, he said so. This is Psalms 51 and verse 11. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me.
Yeah, that's a prayer you gotta learn, man. That's a beautiful prayer.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, with that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the whole elect.
Shalom. A Bible bomb.